Elio is not doing good at the box office. Nobody wants to go see this movie. As of right now, according to Box Office Mojo, this has numbers from Sunday. So not totally up to date, but Monday isn't really the biggest box office day anyway. But as of right now, sitting at $72 million worldwide. No, that does not mean Disney gets all of that money. They get like half of that. Probably maybe a little bit less. It depends. Depends on the market. International is a little bit different than domestic in some cases. But I don't know why people think, Disney's got all that money. Well, what do you think the theater gets? Theater gets money too. It's always wild to see like glue eaters try to think that, or try to get out there and say that they get all that money, and that's not how it works. But anyway, no one wants to go see Elio. It's doing bad. One of the worst Pixar box offices yet. Pixar is a mess. I don't know what's going on over there. They get some hits. Inside Out 2, it did pretty good for them, but Elio is another disaster, and they've had a lot of them. They've had quite a few disasters lately. They seem to have been taken over by activists. That's the story that many of us hear. This activism has just kind of invaded Pixar. I mean, it's invaded all of Disney in a lot of ways, but Pixar apparently really hit by this. And it sounds like this movie was going to become an activist dream. And Disney said, no, you got to make changes. The director left. New people came on. And the movie became a mess. And people can kind of sense a mess. So this movie's not getting good word of mouth. If it was, you would see people flocking to this movie. Word of mouth is what really pushes a lot of stuff nowadays. So inside Elio's catastrophic path. So apparently, according to multiple insiders, Elio was originally supposed to be gay. Well, they weren't going to outright say it. What they were going to do is this thing called queer coding, and that comes from them saying it in this article. Like he was going to have a scene in a pink tank top. He's going to have a poster of his male crush. It's basically going to make him all of the stereotypes, and that was apparently what would have saved the movie. And apparently that would have saved the movie. That would have made the movie amazing. It would become America's #1 movie. Everyone would have flocked to it. They would have wanted to see it, and it would have just made everything A-okay. So, according to multiple insiders who spoke to The Hollywood Reporter, Elio was initially portrayed as a queer-coded character, reflecting the original director's identity as an openly gay filmmaker. So, a self-insert. A self-insert, then, basically. Other sources say that he did not intend the film to be a coming-out story, as the character is 11. But either way, this characterization gradually faded away throughout the production process as Elio became more masculine, following feedback from leadership. Gone were not such direct examples of his passion for environmentalism and fashion, but also a scene in Elio's bedroom with pictures suggesting a male crush. Hints at the trash fashion remain in the released film, but with the boy wearing a cape decorated with discarded poultry and soda can tabs, although without any explanation for the unusual attire. So that's the film's original plan. And the reason they changed it is because of a test screening in Arizona. And apparently, people were nice and said they enjoyed the movie. But when they were asked how many would go see it in the theater, nobody raised their hand, according to at least one source with knowledge of the event. And this sounded alarm bells for the studio brass. Was it off of one test screening, though? I mean, that's a little much. You think you would do a couple more? Now, it sounds like, first off, the studios can only blame themselves for greenlighting. Does nobody pay attention to what these studios are doing at Disney? Like, you could have avoided all of this if you had just maybe watched what your people are doing a little bit. A little bit. And this is why the movie is apparently, despite critics, of course, loving it, because they love everything Disney usually. Disney usually gets a lot of high praise from access media, and that's because they all play ball. Very rarely do you see Disney just get trashed by critics. So I just don't trust access media critics. I don't trust them. And I don't think a lot of people do. Critic rate reviews really just don't matter anymore. But anyway, it was around this time that Melania screened his latest cut of the film to Pixar leadership. There are differing accounts of the exact feedback that the director received from Pixar boss Pete Docter when the lights went up, with rumors circulating in some of the studio's circles that Melania was hurt by the conversation. The part that is clear is that he exited the project soon after, and much of Elio was reworked under new co-directors. So all of that means shit show. Shit show. And how much of this movie was done before the new directors came on? How much of this was done? Because they had enough to show test audience. So how many scenes were scrapped and reworked and changed? This all sounds expensive to me. How does it get that far with nobody watching a reel or seeing what's going on? If you cared this much, you should have been paying attention. But yeah, when something like this happens, usually that's a bad sign for any movie. Any movie. When you bring people in to change it and muck it up, too many cooks in the kitchen, that hurts anything. It hurts. This suggestion that if they had kept the movie about an 11-year-old exploring his sexuality, that wouldn't have saved the movie. As the company's internal LBGTQ group Pixar suggests here, the former Pixar assistant editor Sarah Ligatich, who provided feedback during Elio's production as a member of the company's internal LGBTQ group Pixar, I would not have saved the movie. Sounds like this movie should have just never been greenlit. That would have probably saved everybody a lot of time and frustration and money. But Disney is in an interesting position because now I think a lot of the stuff that they've greenlit and ran through a lot of that 2016 era is finally all coming out of the pipeline. And you can see it with Marvel. So after Fantastic Four, this is a good example, I think, because we know after Fantastic Four, there's nothing. There's nothing to release until Vision, and then Spider-Man's more Sony, so Doomsday. They've ran everything off. That's what they're focused on now. So after Fantastic Four, we can really see what's going on, at least with Marvel's side of things, and where they're going to go. And I think that's kind of a good representation of the entire company, because they haven't been pumping out as much content as they used to. So aside from the sequels, like in a year or two, I'm interested in seeing like what the tone of a lot of these Disney studio projects are, and if they really are trying to like turn a corner and get away from all this activism. They need to get these activists out of your companies. They're not bringing in any money. All they're bringing in is controversy and box office bombs. So, before you go, comment. Let me know what you think about all this. Also, subscribe and check out my comic book. It's a link in the description. We got a fun comic book that we're putting out. There is no activism here. Just fun. We're just trying to tell a fun story. A lot of fun, action-packed, fight scenes. That's really the focus of this comic. Cool shit. We're trying to entertain you. That's it. And I think you will be entertained if you check it out. And you can check it out for $17. Cover D is only $17. We also have a supplemental book for $6. But we have other covers. We have merch. You can check it all out. And I think you'll be surprised if you do. You're going to love it. The book is done, by the way. So when this campaign ends, we're going to start shipping. And I wouldn't wait, because when the campaign is over, you know, whatever numbers we have after the print, that's it. Those aren't coming back. So don't wait too long. Check it out. And with that, hit the notification bell, throw a like up, share the video, share the campaign link, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.
The year is 1945. World War II rages from the halls of Buckingham Palace to the shores of the Nile River. Even now, the clash between freedom and tyranny is about to boil over. Somewhere in North Africa, 2 American flyboys are soaring high on a reconnaissance mission, searching for clues to a peculiar new obsession with the occult gripping the Nazi high command.